Welcome with me to the beginner's room of XM. Whether you're joining me on YouTube or wherever you're joining from today. Today we are looking at live trading, market analysis and live trading. So we're basically going to be analyzing the market together and finding trade ideas. And what that involves is I will show you the strategy I will be using to define the trades I am looking out for. And then we start to analyze the market together. So basically, what do we do? We're going to be looking into the different charts by assessing what the structure of the market is so that we apply the right strategy for whatever market structure we have. If we find a trending market, we're going to be putting using trending market strategy. If we find a ranging market, we are also going to be using a ranging market strategy. So the first thing we will do, we are looking at the structure of the market. I'm going to type this out in a paint so that you would see, you just follow through as I explain each of the process of what we are looking out for. So first thing we are going to look out for is the trend, right? We're going to find the trend using multi-time frame, all right? So that's the first thing. We will look at what is the trend. Is there a trend? If there's no trend, at least the market is going to be ranging. And in that case, do I want to trade this market or do I want to leave it, let it break out before I come back to it? This is one thing that we can look out for. If I decide that I'm going to trade it, maybe because as the time I'm seeing it, it's around a support or a resistance, and I expect a turnaround from that level, then I will adopt the setup for a ranging market to trade the particular market. Okay. Then after finding a finding the trend or the structure of the market, so I may call this market structure because sometimes we don't have a trend and we have a ranging market. So just knowing what structure we have in the market, using multiple time frame to analyze that so that we are able to define what our expectations would be in the market. The next thing we are going to then do is we find the current market buyer, try to see where the market is at the moment. Is it possible that this trend that we have, yes, the structure is a trending market, it is uptrending, for instance. Is it possible that the trend is going to continue? Current market structure. So is it possible, current market bias, not the structure now, is it possible that where we are at the moment is to where the price is going to turn around from and the trend is going to change? We are moving away from the uptrend into a downtrend. Or is it a possibility that we are going to continue that uptrend? The price is still continuing in the same direction. I want to be able to tell that. Then the next thing I'm going to find is the setup. All right. So this setup is where we talk about the strategy. What strategy am I going to use? Am I going to take a strategy that fits in with a trending market or that of a ranging market? If it is of a trending market, I can apply a different strategy. I can apply a simple strategy like using a dynamic support and resistance level, where I can look at either the trend line, moving averages, or I can Ichimoku. Ichimoku is an indicator that can also help us to find good trade ideas in a trending market. So I can apply any of this to find my trade ideas. If we find ourselves in a ranging market, I'll be looking to buy from support, sell from resistance, or wait for breakout to happen in order for me to determine the market direction and the kind of trade I'm going to take. Okay. So once I get the setup, I am going to find entry trigger. So I need to know what triggers the entry. Am I supposed to enter at this time, or do I want to wait for maybe a closing candle or something? Sometimes for me, the entry trigger might be the kind of candle that is closing at that time. It may also be that the price has closed above a certain level. maybe a moving average, a dynamic support and resistance, a fixed support and resistance level, whatever. All right. It might be that I'm waiting for a pullback to happen. And then after the pullback, I'm waiting again for a confirmation candle, whatever it is. I have entry triggers. I need to see what triggers the entry, what tells me to go ahead and click the buy now. Even though I have a setup that fits in with maybe the market direction and gives me idea of buying or selling at the time, I still need a trigger to buy or sell. So the next thing is that I'll calculate my lot size. And no, before I calculate my lot size, I would find where my stop loss, okay, stop loss and take profit will be. I'm going to determine the level where I'm going to place my stop loss and my TP, my take profit. And once that is done, it helps me to know first risk to reward. So I compare risk to reward. So this is like a full breakdown of the a simple strategy that also includes risk management inside of it. All right. So I compare my risk to reward. I try to see if I am risking say $100, is there a possibility that I get more than that if it hits my take profit? Because for me, I like a minimum of 1 to 2, where if I'm risking one, I'm expecting a at least two, three, five, 10 if possible, but a minimum of two. Okay, so I need to have where my stop loss is going to be and where the take profit will be in order to determine that, right? Then I'll calculate my lot size. What's the lot size? The volume. What size am I trading? What's the position sizing? I need to calculate that to know what fits in with how much I am willing to risk so that if the market goes against me, hit my stop loss, I don't lose more than I plan, right? And then after that, I enter the trade. Enter trade, okay? And that's it. I enter the trade, and afterward, I just manage my position, manage position. Okay? So, uh, so that's it. This is the what we are going to follow. So we're going to be analyzing different markets together. If you tune in with me and you have a particular instrument that you would prefer that we analyze, that you want us to take a look at together, ensure that you put that in the comment section so that we analyze these different instruments and we try to enter trade together. If there is no trade that is ready now, we may set a pending order. If we don't find a trend pending order to take, we can also set alert. Or if if our decision is to just leave it as it is, we may also decide to just let it be. Okay, so I hope you have noted these steps that we're going to follow when it comes to analyzing and entering our trade. So let's go start take a look at it. I was looking at this yesterday and I expected that the price was going to continue to the upside for some time. At least this is BTC. So my bias was that price was going to go up a little bit, get toward the moving averages or higher before coming down. But I know that price is mainly trending back down from here. You know, it has gone all the way up, got to all-time high, and it is moving down from there. So I was expecting that price to make a little bit of pullback. It did make a pullback, at least as we can see, from some candles. Okay, no, this was yesterday's candle. So if we look at it from that daily time frame, after it pushed down like this, there is what looks like a double bottom. And with the double bottom, price has hit it, and making a pullback from there. Then I expect that it will break up and go even higher before any major move to the downside to continue the downward trend that I started from here. So I expected that the price would go maybe toward this level, form like head and shoulders, and then start to drop down again. However, it's just been playing around there. Another one I looked at yesterday was Eurocard. So I looked at Eurocard also. For Eurocard, I was expecting a sell, but it just hasn't really moved away from that area much. Yesterday's candle closed bullish, compared to what I was expecting. I thought that the price would just retrace a bit and come down, but it hasn't. No, no, not much movement has happened around there. It did go up a bit. I'll be looking at it again from now to see whether it starts to go down. My bias is that price would be bearish. Why is that? I did an analysis from this higher time frame, and what I can see is that the price has been bullish for some time. However, the candles have now become smaller compared to the size when it was starting to push up from here. I expect a change in direction or at least some pullback from here, before the price continues to go up again. So on this monthly time frame, you'll see it's mainly an uptrending market, but from the last few candles, the price has been trying to push down. But overall, it's like a ranging market. Now, I expected that the price would come down because we have what looks like head and shoulders pattern here. Let me bring out my pen to show you. So we have what looks like head and shoulders here, right? And afterwards, the price has been ranging. So all of this made me have an expectation of a change in market direction. Let me see from daily. So on the daily time frame, it already formed what looks like head and shoulders here to price has broken below the neckline. It has been tested and I expect a continuation. So how today's candle forms can also give an idea of how I'll trade it. So I'll just define the pattern I have here. But with all of this, there isn't a clear signal yet. So I'll be looking at this rising wedge pattern to decide when the price finally breaks out, how I'm going to be trading it. So I'll leave that one for now and make my decision later on how I'll trade this instrument. So those are the ones we looked at mainly yesterday that I was looking to take a trade on. But as it is at the moment, I would just let them be and be back to analyze them again in order to make a better decision as entering or exiting it. So let's see. Let's now do full main analysis. If you are with me, whether on YouTube or on in the beginner's room, please do well. Let me know if there is anything you want us to, any instrument you are considering or that you want us to look at together. Let me know in the chat box. Okay. So that's for Eurocard. Let's go back to the following alphabetical order. Aussie Canadian dollar. What's the weekly time frame like? It's barely bullish. It's bullish, but we are around the resistance, and I expect a little bit of pullback from there as we already see the candle forming. Today's candle looks like it is trying to form a shooting star. There is a longer wick already formed above as the price tried to go above that my resistance line already this morning, and it's pushing down again right now. Let's see what happens from there. If the price is able to close lower, or if we see a setup that shows that the price has the potential to continue to the downside. I think at that point, we should be able to then make a better entry decision. Yeah. Hmm. Interesting. So on the 4 hour time frame, we have evening star candlestick pattern forming. Once the 4 hour time candle closes, that should give us an indication as to whether the price wants to continue down or not. If the price closes bearish the way it is looking now, I think that can give a better idea of when to enter the trade. And be sure of the timing when it is closed. Okay. So I'm expecting that price to close, and when it closes, I will go ahead to find an entry here